House adopt that report that was laid on the table of the House on the Wednesday, 12th of March, the year 2025, for the House to adopt as well as approve the 2025 budget policy statement. So this is a motion whose debate and consideration was concluded on the floor of the House. And this afternoon, the members are preparing to get into division on this particular motion with regards to that report of the Standing Committee on Finance and Budget. This is with regards to the budget policy, 2025 budget policy statement. And the members, as we can see on the screen, is that they're trying to find out whether the House has the quorum at this point. At least 25 members will be required to vote on this particular motion. This is as provided for in the House Standing Order number 83. And this particular voting will be done by the county delegation. All right, let's listen in.
Kindly close the doors and draw the bar. Now, honorable senators, please take your seats so that we proceed. Honorable senators, Senator Boni. Order, honorable senators. Now, we'll start with order number 12, which has already been called out, so I'll proceed to put the question on order number 12. Clerk, is the system up and running? All right. So I'll proceed to put the question. That the Senate adopt the report of the Standing Committee on Finance and Budget on the 2025 budget policy statement laid on the table of the Senate on Wednesday, 12th of March 2025, and pursuant to sections 25(7) of the Public Finance Management Act and Standing Order 1867 of the Senate, approves the 2025 budget policy statement. Now, voting is going to be done electronically at this juncture. Honorable senators, just log out. Log out, and Sergeant at Arms, kindly remove the unattended. All the unattended cards, just pull out. Honorable Ledama, you may proceed. Sergeant at Arms, once you're done, let me know. Sergeant at Arms, you're good? Okay, you may log back. Honorable senators, kindly log in back. You log in and then proceed to vote. Either yes, no, or you may abstain. Voting is underway, honorable senators. So we will proceed, Senator Fatuma, and then once we are done with calling all these orders and voting on the same, we will then call upon those honorable senators who have encountered any technical problem to cast their vote. So, Clerk, you tell me when we are ready to move to the next. Are we ready? Okay, prepare the system. We are now moving to order number 13, and I proceed. It's already been called, so I will proceed to pose the question. The Senate adopt the report of the Standing Committee on Finance and Budget on the 2025 medium-term date management strategy laid on the table of Senate on Wednesday, 12th of March 2025. Honorable Senators, you may proceed to vote. Either yes, no, or you may elect to abstain. Voting is underway. Honorable Senators, we will now move to order number 14. It's already been called, so I'll put the question. That the Public Fundraising Appeals Bill, Senate Bills number 36 of 2024, be now read a second time. You may now proceed to vote.
Well, the senators are now taking a vote on the public fundraising appeals bill also originating from the Senate. This is a bill that is sponsored by the Senate Majority Leader. Debate on it was concluded, and the members are now at the division stage for the bill to proceed to the next stage. This is a bill that seeks to provide for the establishment of regulatory mechanisms at the national and county levels, which oversee the conduct of fundraising appeals, to provide for the licensing and regulation of fundraisers, the promotion of transparency and accountability in the conduct of fundraising appeals, and also the regulation of the conduct by state and public officers in the participation in public fundraising appeals and in the administration of this particular legislation. This is a bill that is originating from the Senate, a bill that is about to proceed to the next stage, and the members are voting on it. We shall be seeing the results of this particular vote in just a short while. The bill protects the public from fraudulent, misleading. All right, let's listen in.
15. It's already been called, so I will proceed to put the question. That the Environment Laws Amendment Bills, Senate Bills number 23 of 2024, be now read a second time. You may proceed to vote now.
The senators are now taking a vote on the Environment Laws Amendment Bill. This is a bill also originating from the Senate and sponsored by Senator Abdul Haji. This is a bill that seeks to amend the Forest Conservation Management Act, Cap 385, to make the further provision for afforestation and reforestation of all forests, and to promote tree planting in all counties in Kenya generally. It further mandates the Kenya Forest Service to ensure the sourcing of tree seeds as well as seedlings that are suitable for the environment and climatic conditions of the various parts of Kenya, and establish tree nurseries in each county. This is a bill that also incorporates tax and fiscal incentives to boost investments in forest land use and utilization. Those are the results of the vote. That is the Environment Laws Amendment Bill, and this is a bill that seeks to incorporate tax and fiscal incentive to boost investments in forest land use and utilization. All right, let's listen in.
Order number 16. Honorable Senators, I'll proceed to put the question on order number 16, that the County Civic Education Bill, Senate Bills number 4 of 2024, be now read a second time. You may proceed to vote.
The County Civic Education Bill, this is a bill that is sponsored by the nominated Senator Esther Kinyuri. That is the bill that members are taking a vote on it right now. The purpose of this particular bill is to establish a legal framework for the promotion of civic education in Kenya as an essential tool for building responsible citizenship, civic engagement, and democratic values among the citizens of Kenya, or the citizens of the Republic of Kenya. This is a bill that seeks to address the gaps bearing in mind or acknowledging that civic education plays a critical role in shaping the attitudes, behaviors, and values. All right, let's listen in.
Clerk, are we ready? That's order number 17, is it? I'll proceed to put the question on order number 17, that the Heritage and Museums Bill, Senate Bills number 8 of 2023, be now read a second time. You may proceed to vote.
The Heritage and Museum Bill, Bill number 8 of 2023, that is currently being voted on for it to be read for a second time and proceed to the next stage, is an act of parliament that seeks to provide for the conservation, preservation, protection, research, and management of cultural and natural heritage and national and county levels of government.
Honorable Senators, we now move to order number 18. I'll put the question that the County Library Services Bill, Senate Bills number 40 of 2024, be now read a second time. You may proceed to vote.
The County Library Services Bill, a bill also originating from the Senate, Bill number 40 of 2024, that is currently being voted on, is a bill that seeks to promote the establishment and use of libraries in counties so as to facilitate access to information, improve education standards, and reduce levels of illiteracy in the counties. This is a bill that seeks to establish libraries in each county to ensure that learners and the communities within the county have access to educational resources and information, promote literacy in counties, as well as support education, cultural and research activities by providing necessary resources and facilities. And this particular bill also seeks to ensure the preservation of cultural heritage of counties for future generations. This is a bill that concerns counties.
You cannot raise on a point of order. No? The standing orders are very clear on point of orders. What do you want to say, Senator Ledama? You seem to be struggling.
Mr. Speaker, if you allow me, I don't know whether you're allowing me now, but I think you've allowed me. I raise understanding order 66 to request that the next order be deferred until another time.
So are you requesting that the putting of the
question be deferred until the next sitting?
It is so granted.
Thank
The
you.
putting of the question on order number 19 is hereby deferred to a later date.
Well, the senators have concluded or are about to conclude on the division of some of the business that was lined up to go through the division stage this afternoon. We have seen earlier on the senators voted on the motion on the consideration of the report of the Standing Committee on Finance and Budget on the 2025 Budget Policy Statement. The motion on the consideration of the report of the Standing Committee on Finance and Budget on the 2025 Medium-Term Debt Management Strategy also went through a division for the House to adopt as well as approve the proposals or the recommendations of the of that particular report from the Committee on Finance and Budget. The Public Fundraising Appeals Bill, a bill also originating from the Senate, also was voted on this afternoon. Remember, these are bills that are at their second reading stage. They are waiting to be declared to have been read for the second time, meaning that a debate on it was concluded. And at this particular point, once they're done at the second reading stage, they will be going into consideration at the Committee of the Whole, where in case there were amendments that were moved by the senators as the bills were being considered at the debate stage, then those amendments will be considered at the Committee of the Whole. So the Public Fundraising Appeals Bill, the Environment Laws Amendment Bill has also been voted on for it to go into the next stage or to be read for the second time. The County Civic Education Bill is also yet another bill that at this stage or this point where senators are considering it at the division stage has also been voted on, or members have already cast their votes on this particular bill. The Heritage and Museums bill also originating from the Senate and moved by the chairperson or sponsored by the chairperson, Standing Committee on Labor and Social Welfare, was also considered at this particular stage, with members taking a vote on it. This is a bill that was part of the bills that this afternoon, as the members are at the division stage, has also been considered. We have also seen the County Library Services Bill, sponsored by Senator Joyce Korir, also being considered at the division stage. The last business that was to be considered at the division stage was the report on the Mediation Committee on the Conflict of Interest Bill. However, we have seen the Senator for Narok standing on a point of order to request the Speaker that the consideration of this particular bill at the division stage be deferred to a later date. So this particular business is almost concluded on. We are just waiting for the communication from the Speaker with regards to these motions, 2 motions, as well as about 5 bills that have been considered at the division stage to be able to be concluded on. There are consultations, as you can see on your screens, at the table of the clerk as well as the table of the Speaker of the dispatch. And once those consultations are done, then we shall be having a communication from the Speaker on these particular bills and the division process that the members have just undertaken with regards to this bill. Perhaps we could be as well take a look again at what some of these bills entail. The County Library Services Bill is a bill that seeks to promote the establishment and use of libraries in counties so as to facilitate access to information, improve education standards, and reduce levels of illiteracy in the counties. These are some of the contents of the bill. These are bills, remember this is a bill that concerns county governments. And the mandate of the county governments is to approve and integrate the county libraries' annual work plan into the annual county budget. Also mobilize resources necessary for the delivery of library services in the respective county. Also allocate adequate funds and resources necessary for the effective development of libraries, and also collaborate with such entities as it may consider necessary for the development of capacity building and training programs for libraries or librarians in the county, and also in financing and mobilizing resources for the development and maintenance of county libraries. The county governments will also be required or mandated to provide the necessary resources for capacity building of the county library staff. This is a bill that, in case there were any amendments that were proposed during the debate stage, may be considered at the committee of the whole. The County Civic Education Bill, one of the bills that has gone through division this afternoon, seeks to establish a legal framework for the promotion of civic education in Kenya as an essential tool for building responsible citizenship, civic engagement, and democratic values among the citizens. There are gaps that have been identified that this particular bill seeks to come and seal. Some of the gaps include that civic education plays a critical role in shaping the attitudes, behaviors, and values of individuals towards their community, country, and the world at large. It enables citizens to understand their rights and responsibilities, participate actively in the governance of their country, and contribute to the development of their communities. However, despite the importance of civic education, Kenya currently lacks a comprehensive legal framework that provides for its promotion and regulation. Civic education activities are often fragmented, ad hoc, and insufficiently funded, resulting in low levels of civic awareness and engagement among the citizens. So these are some of the gaps that, as the members of the Senate consider this bill or this particular piece of legislation, it's a bill that seeks to address these gaps by establishing a legal framework that defines the roles and responsibilities of various stakeholders involved in civic education, including the national and county governments and non-governmental organizations. Its enactment into law will contribute significantly to the promotion of responsible citizenship, civic engagement, and democratic values among the citizens of Kenya, which are critical for building a prosperous, peaceful, and democratic nation. The House has just concluded on voting for a number of businesses that have been lined up for consideration this afternoon. 2 motions regarding the budget policy statement and medium-term debt management strategy, and bills whose debate were concluded at the second reading stage. The bills will be moving to the next stage after this particular stage of division for any amendments that may have been moved to be considered, and later into third reading once the consideration of any amendments that may have been proposed are considered. The Environment Laws Amendment Bill by Senator Abdul Haji has also been considered at the division stage this afternoon. This is a bill that seeks to amend the Forest Conservation Management Act, Cap 385, to make further provision for afforestation and reforestation of all forests, and to promote tree planting in all counties in Kenya generally. It further mandates the Kenya Forest Service to ensure the sourcing of tree seeds and seedlings that are suitable for environment and climatic conditions for various parts of the country, and establish tree nurseries in each county. This bill also amends the Climate Change Act, Cap 387A, to mandate the Cabinet Secretary responsible for matters relating to climate change to set and formulate strategies for achieving annual carbon sequestration targets. These are bills that debate was concluded on. This bill incorporates tax and fiscal incentives to boost investments in forest land use and utilization, as suggested by the Cabinet Secretary for the National Treasury, following recommendations from the Cabinet Secretary responsible for forestry. Among these incentives are income, other tax deductions for private entities that participate in a tree planting program.
So, order, honourable senators, we have the results of the division. Now, on order number 12, the result of the division is as follows. The ayes are 28, the nays at 0, and abstention at 0. So the ayes have it.
A bill for an act of parliament to provide a framework for the regulation in the conduct of public fundraising appeals, to promote transparency and accountability in the carrying out of fundraising appeals, to foster greater philanthropy, to regulate the conduct of public officers in relation to public fundraising appeals, and for connected purposes.
All right, just for clarity, I'm going to read the results once again on order number 12. That is on the report of the Standing Committee on Finance and Budget. So the ayes as 28, abstention at 0, and nays at 0. So the ayes have it. We move to order number 13. Ayes 27, abstention 0, nays 1. So the ayes have it. That is the report on the Standing Committee on Finance and Budget on the medium-term debt management strategy. We move to order number 14. The ayes as the nays at 2, the ayes at 25, abstention at 0. So the ayes have it. That is the Public Fundraising Appeals Bill.
The Public Fundraising Appeals Bill, a bill for an act of parliament to provide a framework for the regulation in the conduct of public fundraising appeals, to promote transparency and accountability in the carrying out of fundraising appeals, to foster greater philanthropy, to regulate the conduct of public officers in relation to public fundraising appeals, and for connected purposes.
The result of the division on the environmental laws, ayes at 27, abstention at 0, and the nays at 0. So the ayes have it.
The Environment Laws Amendment Bill 2024, a bill for an act of parliament to amend the Forest Conservation and Management Act to make further provision for afforestation and reforestation in Kenya, to promote tree planting in all counties, to amend the Climate Change Act to provide for the setting and formulation of strategies to achieve carbon sequestration targets, and for connected purposes.
The result of the division on the County Civic Education Bill, nays 27, abstention 0, and nays 0. So the ayes have it.
The County Civic Education Bill 2024, a bill for an act of parliament to provide a legal framework for undertaking civil education in counties.
The result of the division on the Heritage and Museum Bill, nays 27, abstention 0, nays 0. So the ayes have it.
The Heritage and Museums Bill 2023, a bill for an act of parliament to provide for the conservation, preservation, protection, research and management of cultural and natural heritage at national and county levels of government and for connected purposes.
The result on the division on the County Library Services Bill, the nays at the yes at 27, abstention 0, and the nays at 0. So the ayes have it.
The County Library Services Bill 2024, a bill for an act of parliament to provide for the establishment of county libraries in each county, the establishment of a county library development committee in each county, the functions and powers of each county library development committee, and for connected purposes.
Sergeant at Arms, you may now withdraw the bar and open the doors. Now, honorable senators, we will resume the where we resume the natural flow of today's order paper. That means we go back to statements pursuant to Standing Order 53-1. Senator Fak.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I rise pursuant to Standing Order 53-1 to seek a statement from the Standing Committee on Education regarding the operations of Bandari Maritime Academy in Mombasa County. Senator Ojenda. Mr. Speaker, sir, the Bandari Maritime Academy in Mombasa County is a regional center of excellence for maritime skills development in the blue economy. However, in the recent times, the institution has faced several challenges, including delayed salary payments for the lecturers, irregular fee payment structures, and the absence of a clear framework for placing students in industrial attachment. These challenges, if not resolved, impact the academy's operations and its status as a learning institution. In the statement, the committee should address the following: the delay in the timely payment of lecturers' salary, which has led to demotivation and reduced the efficiency in carrying out their duties. Number two, the college's failure to provide maritime students with essential sea practical training. Number three, the need to standardize tuition fees in line with other institutions offering similar courses and ensure regularized payment of fees to alleviate the financial burden on students and the parents. And number four, the criteria the college should adopt to facilitate placement of students in relevant industries for their industrial attachment. Thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir. Senator Mohamed Faki Munyaji, Mombasa County.
Senator Hamida Kibwana.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I have two statements. One on non-compliance by county governments with the Salaries and Remuneration Commission, SRC, directives of budgetary caps for rent expenditure for top officials. Mr. Speaker, sir, I rise pursuant to Standing Order 53.1 to seek a statement from the Standing Committee on Finance and Budget regarding the non-compliance by county governments with the Salaries and Remuneration Commission, SRC, directives on budgetary caps for rent expenditure for top officials. Mr. Speaker, sir, in May 2029, the Salaries and Remuneration Commission, SRC, issued a circular directing all county governments to cease paying rent for governors, deputy governors, and county assembly speakers. Additionally, the SRC mandated that these counties ensure the construction of official residence of these officials by June 30th, 2022. Failure to adhere to this policy has resulted in significant financial losses, as some counties continue to spend millions of shillings monthly on rent. In the statement, the committee should address the following. County governments that have disregarded the SRC directives on capping rent expenditures for top officials, specifying the amount of public funds spent beyond the establishment limits. Number two, counties that have failed to comply with the SRC directive issued in March 2019, which required the completion of official residence of governors, deputy governors, and county assembly speakers by June 30th, 2022. Number three, funds allocated for the construction of these official residents, highlighting counties where such projects have stalled or have not commenced despite budgetary provisions. Number four, policy and legal measures being implemented by the National Treasury, the Controller of Budget, the Commission on Revenue Allocation to strengthen enforcement mechanism and ensure compliance with SRC guidelines to prevent further misuse of public funds. Finally, disciplinary measures taken against county officials who have ignored SRC directives and authorized excessive rent expenditures contrary to established guidelines. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I'll go to the second one. The second one is on the shutdown of the Kenya Health Information System, KHIS, and impact on health data management. Mr. Speaker, I rise pursuant to Standing Order 53.1 to seek a statement from the Standing Committee on Health regarding the shutdown of Kenya Health Information System, formerly known as the District Health Information System, DHIS, and its implications to health data management in Kenya. Mr. Speaker, sir, Kenya Health Information served as a central nationwide health reporting database, playing a crucial role in collecting, analyzing, and disseminating health data to inform decision-making in the healthcare sector. The system was hosted by the Health IT Department of the United States Agency for International Development, USAID, which provided both technical and financial support. Its recent shutdown raises significant concerns about the continuity of health data tracking, disease surveillance, and healthcare resource planning. In the statement, the committee should address the following: whether the Minister of Health had an exit strategy or a handover process to ensure the continuity of health data management following USAID's exit from Kenya. Number two, the government's plan to restore or replace KHIS, including measures to ensure the long-term sustainable and national ownership of health data management systems, along with the associated costs. Number three, the impact of the shutdown on healthcare service delivery, disease surveillance, and policy planning, particularly in tracking outbreaks and managing national health programs, and how these crucial services will be managed, given the time-sensitive nature of disease surveillance. Number four, whether any sensitive Kenyan health data has been lost, compromised or accessed by unauthorized parties following the KHIS shutdown. Finally, Kenya's engagement with other partners in the development and maintenance of the KHIS and what measures are in place to safeguard the nation's health data sovereignty in the future. I thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Senator Richard Onyonka. Senator Richard Onyonka had 3 statements. Any senator holding a brief for Honorable Onyonka? May I have your written authorization, Senator Omtata? I have allowed honorable senators to transact businesses that are not theirs only later for the honorable senator whom you're holding brief for walking to my office complaining. And that's why I made that communication the other day, that for you to transact any business for and on behalf of a colleague, at least let us have a written authorization. Even a text, I will go with it. I don't want Senator Onyonka to storm my office and distance himself from your good gesture, Honorable Mtata. Okay, so then we will drop those 3 statements. Senator Edwin Sifuna.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I rise pursuant to Standing Order 53-1 to seek a statement from the Standing Committee on Finance and Budget regarding the non-settlement of insurance policy maturity claims by the Corporate Insurance Company Limited. In the statement, the committee should address the following. Number 1, the total value of outstanding insurance policy maturity claims at Corporate Insurance Company Limited, including the duration for which these claims have remained unpaid, and the number of affected policyholders. Number 2, the causes of the delay in settlement of the claims and the timelines for resolving the issues. Thirdly, Honorable Speaker, the current financial position of Corporate Insurance Company Limited, including whether the company is stable enough to guarantee the security of existing insurance policies. Honorable Speaker, with your permission, I want to take the second statement. Mr. Speaker, sir, I rise pursuant to Standing Order 53-1 to seek a statement from the Standing Committee on Education regarding the delay and failure to remit capitation funds to public schools currently amounting to Kenya shillings 64 billion in arrears. In the statement, the committee should address the following. Number 1, the reasons why the National Treasury has failed to release capitation funds despite the urgent cash flow challenges facing public schools across the country. Number 2, the long-term strategies in place to prevent delays in the disbursement of capitation and ensure continuous funding for school operations, infrastructure, and payment of suppliers. Thirdly, Honorable Speaker, the safeguards being implemented to protect school principals and management from potential legal and financial liabilities due to unpaid suppliers and increasing pressure from other stakeholders. I thank you, Honorable Speaker. Speaker, I've taken both statements. Okay. Thank you.
Now we move to Honorable Senator James Lomenan.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir. I rise pursuant to Standing Order 53-1 to seek a statement from the Standing Committee on National Security, Defense, and Foreign Relations regarding the status of retrieval of bodies of Kenya fishermen that were killed by suspected militiamen from Ethiopia in Todonyang area along the Kenya-Ethiopia border on 22nd February 2025. Mr. Speaker, sir, during a visit to the area on 24th February 2025, the Cabinet Secretary for Interior and National Administration made several commitments, including the formation of a specialized security and rescue team to retrieve the bodies of the victims and to provide medical assistance to survivors, and B, deployment of 2 modern boats to boost the search and rescue efforts. In the statement, the committee should address the following. 1, the status of fulfillment of the commitments by the Cabinet Secretary. 2, the progress made in the retrieval of the bodies of the victims of the attack by suspected militiamen from Ethiopia. Thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir.
Senator Mtata, you may now proceed to read the 3 statements by Senator Richard Onyonka. I have seen the text authorizing you to do so.
Mr. Speaker, sir, I rise pursuant to Standing Order 53-1 to seek a statement from the Standing Committee on Labor and Social Welfare regarding ghost workers in the public service. In the statement, I request that the committee addresses the following: whether any audits or investigations by the Public Service Commission and county public service boards to eliminate ghost workers from the national and county government payrolls. If so, provide the full findings. 2, the financial impact of ghost workers on national and county government expenditures disaggregated by the national government and each respective county government since the operationalization of devolved government in 2013. 3, the short, medium, and long-term measures that the national government and respective county governments have taken to identify and eliminate ghost workers from their payroll systems, outlining the strategies implemented to recover any misappropriated funds. 4, any disciplinary or legal actions taken against officials at the national and county government levels who have been found culpable of facilitating or failing to prevent the existence of ghost workers. This was given a statement by Senator Muma, not by Onyonka. Although Muma had also asked me to read.
I do not have the authorization. Huh? If you give me the authorization for Senator Muma, you may take them at a go. Yes, you may proceed.
So that's a statement by Senator Catherine Muma, MP, nominated senator, dated 19th March, 2025.
Senator Onyonka had 3 statements. No, Senator Mtata, you may proceed to read Senator Onyonka's statements. I've seen the text.
Mr. Speaker, sir, Mr. Speaker, sir, I rise pursuant to Standing Order 53, brackets 1, to seek a statement from the Standing Committee on Health regarding the availability, accessibility, and affordability of rehabilitation services across counties to address substance and alcohol abuse. In the statement, the committee should address the following. 1, the status of deliberations by Intergovernmental Sectoral Committee on Health comprising the Council of Governors Health Committee and the Ministry of Health on facilitating access to rehabilitation services for Kenyan youth struggling with substance and alcohol abuse, and the strategies being adopted by the national and county levels, at the national and county levels to address this crisis. The number of registered rehabilitation centers per county distinguishing between public and private facilities, their bed capacities, and whether they have sufficient personnel, including medical professionals, caregivers, and counselors, to cater to the rising demand for rehabilitation services. The frequency of inspections, that's 3, the frequency of inspections conducted by a national authority for the campaign against drug abuse, NACADA, and other oversight bodies to ensure that rehabilitation centers comply with operational standards and quality care requirements. 4, the measures in place to ensure that rehabilitation services remain affordable and accessible, particularly for vulnerable groups, minors and low-income individuals. 5, the preventive strategies established to curb alcohol and drug abuse, and whether there is a coordinated approach among key stakeholders, including government agencies, private sector actors, and community organizations. 6, the key challenges facing the establishment and operation of rehabilitation centers and interventions in place to address these challenges. Statement by Senator Catherine Muyeka Muma, MP, nominated Senator, dated 18th March 2025. Mr. Speaker, sir, I rise pursuant to Standing Order 53, brackets 1, to seek a statement from the Standing Committee on Education regarding the decision by the Ministry of Education to remove mathematics as a compulsory subject for senior school pupils under the competency-based curriculum, brackets CBC. This decision has sparked widespread debate and raised serious concerns about its potential impact on the education quality, career readiness, and national development. Mathematics is not just a subject, it's a fundamental skill essential for daily life, from finance and business to engineering, construction, and analytical problem solving. Removing it as a core subject risks producing a generation of ill-equipped to compete in a technology-driven global economy. Mr. Speaker, sir, this move threatens to reverse Kenya's progress in science, technology, engineering, and mathematics, brackets STEM, education, which is crucial for industrialization, innovation, and economic growth. Mathematics plays a pivotal role in fostering critical thinking, innovation, and informed decision-making. If implemented, this policy change could have far-reaching consequences for learners and the country's future workforce. In the statement, the committee should address the following. 1, the rationale behind the decision to remove mathematics as a compulsory subject and its projected impact on students' competencies and career prospects. How this decision aligns with Kenya's Vision 2030 and other national development goals that prioritize STEM, education, and industrialization. 3, whether adequate consultations were conducted with the key stakeholders, including parents, teachers, education experts, and employers, before implementing this policy change. 4, measures that will be put in place to ensure Kenyan learners remain globally competitive, particularly in STEM-related fields. Signed, Senator Richard Onyonka, MP, Senator for Kisii County, date 18th March 2025. Mr. Speaker, sir, I rise pursuant to Standing Order 53, brackets 1, to seek a statement from the Standing Committee on National Security, Defense, and Foreign Relations regarding the fate of Ms. Margaret Nduta Macharia, a Kenyan citizen who has been sentenced to death in Vietnam over a drug trafficking offense. In the statement, I request the committee to address the following. 1, the measures being taken by the Ministry of Foreign Affairs to ensure that Ms. Macharia receives fair legal representation abroad and to explore the possibility of her repatriation to Kenya for trial under our judicial system. 2, efforts being made to plead for clemency and on humanitarian grounds to have Ms. Macharia's death sentence commuted to life imprisonment or an alternative penalty, and whether diplomatic negotiations are underway to facilitate her repatriation to Kenya so that she may serve her sentence within our justice system. 3, number of Kenyan citizens currently incarcerated abroad, specifically the nature of the charges they face, and detail the diplomatic efforts being undertaken to safeguard their rights and welfare. 4, security lapses at Kenyan airports, particularly Jomo Kenyatta International Airport, brackets JKIA, regarding the trafficking of prohibited substances from 2022 to date, and outline the measures being implemented to strengthen airport security checks to prevent future occurrences. Signed, Senator Richard Onyonka, MP, Senator for Kisii County, date 19th March 2025. Mr. Speaker, sir, I rise pursuant to Standing Order 53, brackets 1, to seek a statement from the Standing Committee on Education regarding the governance concerns and leadership transitions at the Kenya Literature Bureau, brackets KLB. In the statement, the committee should address the following. 1, the procurement processes for the award by the Kenya Literature Bureau, brackets KLB, of all currently active contracts for publishing and supply of various books, including the merits of each award, as well as the nature and extent of involvement of the Ministry of Education in the processes. 2, the process followed by KLB to acquire printing and binding machines in the 2024-2025 financial year, including whether due diligence was undertaken and, where it was not, whether disciplinary actions have been undertaken against the responsible officials. 3, the renewal of contracts for officers holding managerial positions at KLB, including whether due process was followed. 4, reasons why the renewal of contracts for the officers was not gazetted, and the corrective actions taken to address the issue. 5, whether the human resource practices at KLB during appointments, promotion, and salary reviews adhere to principles of equity and fairness. Signed, Senator Richard Onyonka, EBS, MP, Senator for Kisii County, date 19th March 2025. Thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir.
Senator Tomojenda, however, before Professor you take to the floor, we have Senator Gloria Oroba at the bar. Now, Senator Gloria Oroba, when you last appeared and sat at the bar, you were unable to fulfill conditions for you to be readmitted to the chamber. Those conditions were pursuant to a resolution of this House. You're back today. You may proceed.
Thank you. Thank you, Speaker. Thank you, Speaker. I'm waiting for the... It's okay. Yeah, okay. I wasn't sure if it's okay. Yes, I was unable to fulfill. And Speaker, after being guided by the leader of majority and after being guided by... I sought counsel within the House and outside. And Speaker, I am going to read the apology without any omission. And I am going to fulfill, because that is a procedure of the House. But Speaker, allow me to say that, to issue the disclaimer as advised. I, Senator Gloria Oroba, on this day, on 20th March, I will tender the prescribed apology herein as a requirement and a fulfillment of the Senate resolution, with a disclaimer that these are not my words and in no way does it infer a confession or any admission whatsoever of liability on my part, and it shall not prejudice my case in court where I have been sued by Jeremiah Nyegenye, the clerk of the Senate. Speaker, I proceed to read the apology, the prescribed apology. Mr. Speaker, I, Senator Gloria Oroba, hereby tender my unreserved apology to this Senate, honorable senators, clerk of the Senate, and the Secretariat of Parliament for having acted in a manner which, pursuant to Section 16E and paragraph 7 and 8 of the 4th Schedule to the Parliamentary Powers and Privileges Act 2017, constituted a breach of parliamentary privilege that reflected adversely on the dignity and integrity of Parliament and its members, and was contrary to the best interests of Parliament and its members. I undertake that I shall abide by the responsibilities of leadership as set out in the Constitution, the Leadership and Integrity Act 2012, and the Parliamentary Powers and Privileges Act 2017. I therefore beseech to be admitted to the chamber. I thank you. And submit.
Senator Gloria, you are hereby admitted back to the chamber. Senator Professor Ojenda, you may proceed to read your statements.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I have a number of statements. I will quickly start with the first one. The first statement, Mr. Speaker, is on the state of media freedom and working conditions for journalists in Kisumu County. I rise pursuant to Standing Order 53-1 to seek a statement from the Standing Committee on Information, Communication and Technology regarding the state of media freedom and the working condition of journalists in Kisumu County, following the resignation of nearly half of the staffers at Color TV, a leading vernacular TV station based in Kisumu County, due to delayed salaries and poor working conditions. In the statement, the committee should, 1, provide details on the challenges faced by journalists in Kisumu County, including delayed salaries, poor working conditions, job insecurity, and any instances of intimidation or violations of press freedom. 2, clarify whether the Media Council of Kenya, MCK, and other relevant regulatory bodies have taken any steps to address the grievances of journalists at Color TV and other media houses facing similar difficulties. 3, indicate whether any investigations or interventions by labor rights organizations and media regulatory bodies are currently underway regarding the working conditions of journalists in Kisumu County. 4, explain the measures in place to ensure the sustainable funding and operations and stability of local media houses, especially in light of economic challenges affecting the industry. And lastly, provide details of any planned policy interventions or legislative measures aimed at safeguarding rights and welfare of journalists in Kenya, particularly in Kisumu County. Mr. Speaker, my second statement is on the discontinuation of the Higher Education Loans Board Student Loan Facility, or HELP, to students of Kenya School of Law. Mr. Speaker, I rise pursuant to Standing Order 53-1 to seek a statement from the Standing Committee on Education regarding the discontinuation of HELP loan facility to students of Kenya School of Law, KSL. In the statement, the committee should, 1, provide reasons for the discontinuation of HELP loan facility to students of KSL, stating whether any consultations were undertaken with key stakeholders that informed the decision. 2, set out the steps taken to reinstate the student loan facility to ensure continued support to many qualified by financially disadvantaged students currently undertaking or seeking admission to the Advocates Training Program, ATP, at KSL. 3, provide the possibility of introducing the alternative funding mechanisms, including the establishment of a dedicated government-managed student loan facility to cater for postgraduate students and others doing professional courses at ATP. Lastly, address other initiatives by the Ministry of Education, the Council of Legal Education, CLE, KSL, and HELP to address financial barriers to legal education, which include the requirement to pay 70% of tuition fees upfront, and whether KSL could consider adopting a staggered payment fee plan. Mr. Speaker, my third statement is on the financial sustainability, relevance, and the future of Postal Corporation of Kenya, POSTA. Mr. Speaker, I rise pursuant to Standing Order 53 to seek a statement from the Standing Committee on Information, Communication, and Technology regarding the financial sustainability, relevance, and future of Postal Corporation of Kenya in the digital era. Mr. Speaker, POSTA was once a vital communication and logistics hub in Kenya. However, in today's fast-paced digital economy, where emails, SMSs, and private courier services have replaced traditional mail, serious concerns arise.
Senator Agenda, what's your issue, Senator, for Kakamega?
Keeping with my calling as the whip, I wish to appeal to you to allow me to briefly move up a small procedural motion regarding, Mr. Speaker, the issue of the chair. Honorable Speaker, I beg to move the following motion, that pursuant to Standing Order number 107, 1C of the Constitution, and Standing Order number 18, the Senate elects Senator Lelegwe Lutumbesi, MP, to preside over the sitting of the Senate for the remainder of the day. Today, Thursday, 20th March 2025, in the absence of the Speaker, the Deputy Speaker, and members of the Speaker's panel. I thank you, Mr. Speaker. And I request Senator Joyce Korir to second me.
Yeah, thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. As read by my leader, able leader, I want to say that Honorable Lelegwe is up to the task, and I second.
Now, Honorable Senators, as you're aware, the chair is human. And it is on record that the Deputy Speaker and Senator Veronica have just been called on a very important meeting, state meeting. Now, Senator Muma is in New York. Senator Haji just left today for Umrah. And therefore, the Presidium has been left to only one person, the Speaker. Now, the chair is human. I cannot take a break even for a minute before adjourning this House. If you will, I can adjourn this House for half an hour. You allow me to respond to natural calls of nature. Or we don't interrupt flow of today's business by allowing Senator Lelegwe, MP, who has been on this chair previously, who is extremely familiar with the dealings of the chair, to take over here till the very end. This being a procedural motion, it need not be put to debate. So therefore, I'll proceed to put the question. That pursuant to Article 107, 1C of the Constitution, and Standing Order 18, the Senate elects Senator Lelegwe Lutumbesi, MP, to preside over the sitting of the Senate for the remainder of the day, today, Thursday, the 20th of March, 2025, in the absence of the Speaker and the Deputy Speaker and the members of the Speaker's panel. Will as many as of that opinion say aye? Aye. Will as many as of the contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it. Proceed, Prof.
on the statement on financial sustainability, relevance, and future of Postal Corporation of Kenya. Mr. Speaker, Posta was once a vital communication and logistics hub in Kenya. However, in today's paced digital economy, where emails, SMSs, and private courier services have replaced traditional mail, serious concerns arise as to whether continued government investment in Posta is a prudent use of public resources. The corporation has faced several financial distress with a debt burden of Kenya shillings 9 billion and consistent dependence on government bailouts. While there have been recent reports of modest profitability, these gains remain marginal compared to the institution's financial obligations and operational inefficiency. In the statement, Mr. Speaker, the committee should, 1, provide an update on Posta's financial position, including its current liabilities, revenue streams, and profitability prospects in the light of Kenya's 9 billion debt burden, outlining any PPPs or alternative funding mechanisms being explored to make Posta self-sustaining and reduce its reliance on taxpayers' money. 2, assess whether continued funding of Posta is a prudent economic decision given the evolving technological landscape and emerging market alternatives, and clarify the government's strategic plan for Posta's future, particularly in the context of digital transformation and competition from private logistic providers such as DHL, Fargo, and G4S. Lastly, Mr. Speaker, explain the status of Posta's modernization efforts, including its potential role in e-commerce, logistics, and digital government services, and state whether there are plans to restructure, privatize, phase out, considering its declining relevance and continued dependence on public funds. Mr. Speaker, the third statement is on the security of funds of members of circles or cooperative societies. Mr. Speaker, this statement has been read this afternoon by Mr. John Matthew. I will not read it again. My other statement, Mr. Speaker, is on the operational inefficiency and the current delays of scheduled flights by KQ, Kenya Airways. Mr. Speaker, I rise pursuant to Standing Order 53.1 to request a statement from the Standing Committee on Roads and Transportation regarding the operational inefficiency, reliability, and governance of Kenya Airways KQ, with a particular focus on the recurrent and excessive delays affecting the scheduled flights. KQ, christened the Pride of Africa, as it then was, and being our national flag carrier, bears a profound responsibility to uphold service excellence, operational integrity, and efficiency. However, Mr. Speaker, the incessant delays and cancellation of scheduled flights, both domestic and international, have disrupted travel plans, undermined confidence in the airline, and raised serious concerns regarding its capacity and management. It is imperative, Mr. Speaker, that a thorough scrutiny is conducted to establish the root causes and provide a sustainable framework for corrective action. In this regard, Mr. Speaker, the committee should, 1, provide a detailed breakdown of the number of aircrafts owned and leased by KQ, their deployment for domestic and international routes, and the extent to which the available fleet meets the demands of air travel. 2, disclose the airline's ownership status, including principal shareholders, asset ownership, and the terms and duration and financial implications of leasing arrangements for aircraft and related operational equipment. 3, provide a comprehensive analysis of the primary causes of delays in scheduled domestic and international flights with a focus on recent disruptions while examining KQ's existing partnerships, code-sharing agreements, and interdependencies with other carriers, assessing whether these agreements, Mr. Speaker, contribute to service disruptions and outline the immediate and long-term strategies in place to rectify these issues. 4, clarify whether KQ has an adequate number of pilots, engineers, and essential personnel to efficiently execute its flight schedules and outline any ongoing or planned measures to bridge any human resource gaps. 5, outline the airline's protocols on passenger communication, compensation and service recovery when flights are delayed or cancelled, and evaluate whether these measures align with international best practices. And lastly, Mr. Speaker, confirm KQ's compliance with the Kenya Civil Aviation Authority, KCA regulations, and any penalties or corrective directives issued due to operational shortcomings. Mr. Speaker, my next statement is on the safety of adequacy of administrative units in Kisumu County. Mr. Speaker, I rise pursuant to Order 51 to seek a statement from the Standing Committee on National Security and Defense regarding the adequacy of administrative units in Kisumu County and their capacity to effectively serve the growing population. Mr. Speaker, the establishment of well-structured administrative units is vital for efficient governance, security, and equitable resource distribution. As Kisumu County continues to grow, Mr. Speaker, it is imperative to assess whether the existing administrative framework is sufficient to meet the needs of the people. In the statement, Mr. Speaker, the committee should address the following. 1, state the total number of administrative units in Kisumu County, including sub-counties, divisions, locations, and sub-locations, and indicate whether these units were aligned with the current population distribution and service delivery needs. 2, clarify whether the government has received any requests from local leaders, communities, or stakeholders regarding the creation of additional administrative units to enhance governance and public service delivery. 3, explain the criteria used by the Ministry of Interior and National Administration, determine the adequacy of units and whether Kisumu County meets these thresholds, highlighting any plans to establish new units in Kisumu County. Lastly, outline measures the government is putting in place to strengthen the capacity of existing units to effectively address issues of security, development, and public service. Mr. Speaker, my last statement is on the killing of fishermen in Ethiopia, in Todonyang, along Kenya-Ethiopia border. Mr. Speaker, I rise pursuant to Order 53.1 to seek a statement of the Standing Committee on National Security, Defense, and Foreign Relations. And the committee should, 1, state the status of investigation of the incident, providing details on the circumstances leading to the brutal attacks of Kenyan fishermen in Ethiopia border, state measures being taken to ensure justice for the victims, including details of any diplomatic efforts to settle the issue with the Ethiopian government, set out the measures put in place to assist the affected families, including whether the government is providing psychological assistance and compensation to the families, and set out the action taken by the government to enhance security along Kenya-Ethiopian border to prevent recurrence of similar incidences. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Senator Kavindu.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, for this opportunity. Mr. Speaker, sir, I rise pursuant to Standing Order 53.1 to seek a statement from the Standing Committee of Lands, Environment and Natural Resources regarding the operations of Katelembo Adhiani Mputi Farming and Ranching Cooperative Society in Machakos County. In the statement, the committee should, 1, table the original survey map of the area measuring 11,967 hectares occupied by the Katelembo Adhiani Mputi Farming and Ranching Cooperative Society in Machakos County, including all the areas designated for public utility. 2, provide the original ballot allotment lists of the land, disclosing details of all allottees of the land and their respective plot numbers. 3, assess the authenticity of the title deeds in all other documents related to the land, including survey plans, multation forms, and deed plans. 4, outline the steps being taken to ascertain the legitimate landowners, including the individuals who have inhabited the Miwongoni Dam area over a prolonged period, and to address the claims of forced relocation of the landowners and individuals by land speculators colluding with the officials of the cooperative society. And 5, explain the measures in place to ensure transparency and accountability in the compensation of project-affected persons, PAPs, in respect of the Miwongoni River Dam project, in order to ensure rightful compensation of legitimate landowners in the long-term inhabitation of the Miwongoni Dam area. Senator Agnes Kavindu Mudhama MP, Senator Machakos. Another statement, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, sir, I rise pursuant to Standing Order 53-1 to seek a statement from the Standing Committee of Health regarding the acute blood shortage in the country. In the statement, the committee should address the following. 1, the current state of blood transfusion services in the country, including details of available blood banks and laboratories reagents. 2, the reasons behind the persistent blood shortage in the country and the measures currently being taken by the Ministry of Health and the Kenya Blood Transfusion and Transplant Services, KBTTS, to ensure the consistent availability of blood transfusion services and blood reagents in the country. And 3, the measures and strategies in place to enhance public education and awareness campaigns regarding the reluctance of Kenyans to donate blood, and to demystify the reasons, myths, and beliefs that may lead to this reluctance. Senator Agnes Kavindu, MP, Machakos County. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Senator Mutinda.
Thank you. Mr. Speaker, sir, I rise pursuant to Standing Order 53-1 to seek a statement from the Standing Committee of Finance and Budget in regards to the delayed response of commercial banks lending rates to changes in the central bank rate. In the statement, the committee should address the following. 1, the factors contributing to the delayed response of commercial banks lending rates to changes in the central bank rate. 2, the steps being taken by the Central Bank of Kenya to enhance the effectiveness of CBR as the monetary policy tool, ensuring that financial institutions adjust their lending rates in a timely manner without further action or any further delay or intervention from the CBK. 3, recommendations on policies and practices that CBK could adopt from the Federal Reserve in the United States of America European Central Bank, and the Bank of England to ensure seamless economic adjustments in response to changes in the monetary policy. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Senator Chute. Those two statements are dropped. We will defer the statement by Senator Mundigi, defer the statement by Senator Veronica Maina. We now move to statements pursuant to Standing Order 57-1. The Senate Majority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, sir, this is a statement pursuant to Standing Order number 57-1, which is to present the business for the week commencing Tuesday, the 1st of April 2025, when we resume from recess. As honorable senators are aware, at the rise of the House today, the Senate will proceed on recess until Tuesday, 1st of April 2025, pursuant to the Senate calendar. Consequently, the Senate Business Committee has not scheduled any business for next week. Mr. Speaker, sir, the status of legislative business pending before the Senate is as follows. 57 bills are pending conclusion in the Senate, of which 45 are at the second reading stage and 12 are at the committee of the whole stage. 30 motions are pending conclusion, 26 petitions are pending conclusion, out of which 18 are due for reporting by the respective standing committees, and 532 statements pursuant to Standing Order number 53-1 are pending conclusion by the respective standing committees. Upon the resumption of regular sittings on Tuesday, 1st of April 2024, the SBC will meet to consider the business for the week. The tentative business for that day will include business not concluded from today's order paper, as well as business indicated in the notice paper. The tentative business for the morning sitting on Wednesday, 2nd April, will include the schedule of questions to the Cabinet Secretaries as approved by the Senate Business Committee, as well as motions. The questions include: A, question number 2 to the CS for Foreign Affairs and Diaspora. Question number 7 to the CS for Cooperatives. Number 42 also to the same CS. Number 34 to the CS for National Treasury. Number 35 to the National Treasury. And 48, as well as question number 37 to the Cabinet Secretary in the Ministry of Environment, Climate Change and Forest. The tentative business for the afternoon sitting on Wednesday, 2nd April 2025, will include business not concluded from Tuesday's order paper and the following: bills, which is a statutory instruments amendment bill, the County Wards Equitable Development Bill, County Statistics Bill, County Government State Officers Removal Procedures Bill, the Creative Economy Support Bill, the Livestock Protection and Sustainability Bill, the County Governments Amendment Bill. The bills are the Committee of the Whole is County Public Finance Laws, the Street Vendors Protection Bill, Land Amendment Bill, Cooperative Societies, Establishment of the National Teaching and Referral Hospitals in Kenya, Consolidation of Bursary Funds for the Equitable Access to Education in Kenya. The projected business for Thursday, 3rd April 2025, will include business not included in the order paper for Tuesday, the 1st of April 2025, Wednesday, the 2nd April 2025, and any other business scheduled by the SBC. In conclusion, as honorable senators will note from today's order paper, orders number 9 to 15 are scheduled for division, with 2 of them relating to critical business, which I am glad to report, Mr. Speaker, that we have since considered, albeit late and out of time, which is rather unfortunate, but glad nonetheless that we have done so. Finally, Mr. Speaker, I want to thank you and hereby lay the statement on the table of the Senate. Thank you.
Now, honorable senators will allow comments. Clerk, can you restate our system, because I am unable to pick any name from my dashboard. No, we've passed. Where were you?
He just sent me the message just now.
Tunachoka kwanza. Sawa. Just tell him when the message came, we had long passed. Yeah, compared to the speaker was willing, but we had long passed. Okay, honorable senators, we will allow comments on the statements that have been requested. Senator Essie.